It's Sleepwalker Radio,
SleepWalker.
and we're here with Lincoln.
What's up? What's up?
Thanks.
Legend,
Thanks for having me.
African producer. But yeah, we're here right now. You're calling from 7 hours in the future in Johannesburg.
Oh wow! So it's 7 hours ahead of us.
Yeah. You're 7 hours ahead. It's 11 a.m. here.
You're 7 hours wiser than we are.
Okay, so I have that much more experience on you on life.
Exactly.
In life.
Do you have any advice?
Strap up! It's gonna get wild.
Facts.
Yeah, you're from Johannesburg, South Africa, right?
Yes, sir.
Stamp. And
Born and raised.
Born and raised. Stamp.
Yes, sir.
What was it like growing up there?
What? Sorry?
What was it like growing up there?
Oh, it was rough. I can tell, but not rough, like not that bad. It was actually decent, better than most parts in Africa, if I can say.
Stamp.
Did you?
Yeah, mostly. I think it's the most modernized, westernized part of like Africa, and it's also like home to the richest square mile in Africa or something like that. So it's like the best you could get.
Got you.
Did you ever travel outside of the country growing up?
No, actually never left the borders of the country at all.
Cool. Would you ever want to?
Yes, I would like to move to there by you guys. I would like to move 7 hours back into the past. Yeah, the USA.
Stamp, yeah, pull up. Where would you want to live at if you moved to the US?
It'll probably be, I think, because my knowledge is limited, so I only know like the certain names. Have to be probably like California.
Of course.
Yeah, they got it pretty good over
pretty
there.
Lit there. For sure. I was just in Cali, like 3 days ago, 2-3 days ago, visiting my girlfriend.
Wow, so you all the way in Philadelphia and she's in Cali.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Wow. You traveled that far. That's dedication, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is. Like the Lil Wayne and Slime Cedo tape.
Wow. yeah, we won't even travel like across the block for that.
Thanks. So yeah, when did you start like making music?
Wow, I think it was in 2016 when I was rented TV-less and I was forced to kind of find entertainment online and then Wi-Fi, and then you get bored and you start FL studioing, and the next thing, you find,
Stamp. So yeah, so you just started doing it because you didn't really have anything else to do and just kind of.
Yeah, it was a combo of boredom, you could say, nothing else to do like for fun. And then I think I got serious about it when I realized I was studying film production, and when I realized that was going nowhere and time was running out as well, I think that's what made me like take it seriously.
Got you.
Interesting. Did you ever play any instruments?
No. I tried to play the piano. All I can do is the scale, and then that was it, the C scale thingy.
Right.
Cool. So you started producing before you started rapping, because I know you used to, or you rap and shit too, right?
Yes, I that was actually the main, I think like most people's stories, that was the main goal. And then producing was just to have the skill on deck, and because nobody else could do what you wanted. And then when I realized that was making more money,
Stamp. So when did you start like rapping?
I would say a very long time ago, but I was never too good at it. And I think I had to really record and listen back to realize that. So seriously, probably like about the same year, 2016.
2016. Stamp.
Yeah.
Would you ever like, I mean, because you still do like an occasional verse here and there, I feel like, but
yeah, now and then, mostly if it's paid or if it's like somebody like within the family, but other than that, not too much.
Got you. Word. So to like, how exactly would you describe your sound, would you say?
Mm, I'd say it's like a, obviously there's like a happy, like fruity vibe to it in general. Um, I don't really know how to describe it, but I would say it's what I guess it's like a sonic representation of what I see when I look at life. I try to find the beauty in things, in most things. And then when you look at me, I might not match that in terms of the colors and the brightness and the aesthetics, but within you might find that. And so that's like a correlation or something.
There's lots of beauty in everything in this world.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
That makes sense too. There's a lot of like beauty in your production. I feel like a lot of like melodies and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
Would you like consider your beats to be like plug beats or?
100%, 100%. Some people would say, oh, it's like you box yourself in, but I am proud to say that yes, they are definitely the plug sound.
Facts. Yeah, facts. Like I would say there's like Mexikodro, who's like, obviously like the GOAT or whatever, and like creator.
Yes, sir.
And like I feel like you're right under him in like that tier. It's like you, like Stupid Cool and like Cashcache of just like the niggas really.
So that's where things have progressed. That was I remember a time when that for somebody to say that was like a far-fetched dream. So for you guys to kind of just see it like that, just that's what it is. That means a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is, for real.
Yeah.
But did you always go by Lincoln / Lincoln Minaj, or did you have any other?
Well, yeah, I mean it's my birth name, so, and I always felt like having a totally different name that has no correlation with me as like an actual person. I never really wanted to do that, so it's basically just my real name with a quick extension.
Gotcha. Yeah. And you touched on this before we actually like started the interview, but where did the Minaj part come from in your name? Like, did you fuck with Nicki Minaj?
Not so much. She's nice though. I would spend the night with her if I could, but it was more from Tracy.
Oh, right. Yeah, kill.
That makes sense.
Tough.
So were you always like at what point did you start getting into like listening to underground music?
Wow, that is a good question. So I always, I have a saying in life that's like, sometimes life does all of the hard work for me. And I think just by a chain of events dating back to I don't know when, it just kind of led me that way, like involuntarily. And I found something else, and then that led me to discover and dig for something else. And then I guess I also always had like an ear for what is not right now, like the main popular thing, but not outdated either, which is the only other way you can go is forward to the future, underground, the new. Yeah.
Interesting.
Who were like the first like underground artists that you were fucking with?
Sorry, I hit the lock, but okay, back. I think it would have to be like, it was way back. I think Young Thug I think that's where the real like ear for something different was, when Young Thug was putting out those old mixtapes of his. I forgot what they were called. And in South Africa we had these like MP3 download weird type of websites, like the Soldier Boy Finesse websites. And when he started popping up on there, and I just heard the sound and I thought, this is ridiculous. And then when he came back, he made a little emergence with Birdman, and I remembered, and I put the twos, and that was when I saw, okay, there's something with this underground thing.
Cool. Yeah. So you were on Thug like very early.
Yes, I used to walk around and wear it on my sleeve like a badge of honor, but I realized that's not a nice look. So, but yeah.
Thanks.
That's tight.
Shout out Young Thug.
Yeah.
True.
So you started like making beats in 2016. When did you start like uploading them to YouTube and shit? And was that the first place you started uploading your music?
Yes, correct. So I started in 2016 and I was not ready at all. Even when I could officially make a skeleton of what one would call a beat, I wasn't ready. But I think in 2017, when I felt confident enough and people were telling me, it reached a point where enough people were telling me to my face, you should do something with this. You should send this to, you should try sell this to. I realized, okay, I have to do something. And because I knew that growing a following is more important than the craft, it was almost like that at that point. I realized while I'm working on the craft, I don't have this time to just sit. So I thought about flooding, and I saw how the keywords worked with the niche in terms of making your stuff heavy in the algorithm. So I just kind of started doing everything at once.
Facts.
Interesting. So did you always approach like uploading your music as like you're trying to like use the algorithm to your benefit as much as possible, like intentionally?
Yes, in fact, I think I was on that type of a mentality before I actually knew what the algorithm was in words, but I knew there was some sort of a structure that factors in the actual content, the picture, the titles, the metadata basically. And I noticed the patterns with like ASMR, with type beats, there was like a pattern. And that's what with YouTube specifically, and with Instagram also, it used to be the explore page used to work based on the weight of key tags. So if you just had the right tags and you spam them, then you go further up in explore page for specific things. And yeah, so all of these little patterns and stuff, I always noticed and kind of saw. Yeah.
Cool. Because I noticed that your thumbnails are like really crazy, or like they pop. Do you like make those as well?
Wow. So I've always thought so, but all I ever did was I would go on Pinterest, take a girl picture, just crop it a bit, and then just like bring out the saturation and the pinks and the color. That was all, and maybe add some grain and like sharpen. But that was just to me to make it not look like it was for the rip for the Android phone.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that people actually saw it with how you saw it. So yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, do you have like a certain like page that you just go on where it's just like hot girls or something?
Yeah, basically Pinterest. Yeah, you just I used to go on Pinterest and type something like hot girl aesthetic, pretty girl aesthetic, or like LA girl selfie aesthetic. And then, yeah.
Stamp. Look at that. So what was like the first like placement you got off just posting beats on YouTube where you're like, oh shit, like, okay, this is something I should really like continue to do?
Okay, well, since you guys are into the underground side of things, I guess would you count Black Kray?
Oh,
definitely.
Then that was the first artist of a certain stature outside South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Black Kray is, and I feel like because you worked with him around like 2017, so that was like one of your first placements was Black Kray.
Yeah.
Damn, and those were like some pretty like memorable songs of his too. Like,
yeah,
I agree. I actually think that they not in the regard to me, but more to him. I think that it was a really slept on time or era or sound or wave of music, you could say, and it's almost been swept under the rug. I really think that guy deserves a lot more, just as an iconic artistic pioneer type of a thing. But yeah.
Definitely. You know what?
Definitely a historical legend.
I'm about to share my my screen real quick. Y'all have like a few.
There we go.
Together.
Wow, it looks so cool when you pull it up like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So what was your question?
Oh yeah, how like did that relationship like start, Phil? You just sent him, or he just like reached out to you? It's like, yo, I fuck with this beat.
So what I think, it seems he's the first one he ever chose was actually off of Winter. I don't know if you know, there's a guy called Winter, producer with it's the Winter with a Y, not an I.
Mm-hmm.
So he got the first one from his channel, and then when I saw that, I didn't take it seriously because his aesthetic was a bit weird to me at the time. There was like lack of color. The quality of the stuff wasn't too good, but then the numbers were crazy. And what I remember was seeing a guy called Nolanbeorllin in his comments.
Shout out Nolan.
Along with like almost like 90% of the following I had was going crazy in those comments. And I realized, oh, they all follow him. There must be something to that as well. And then I reached out to him and just said, bruh, if you ever want to use more, please feel free. I won't charge you. And I think that offering of freedom and then of free use. And also he seemed to like want to get on Plugg after everyone.
Yeah. Cool.
So that was
his own spin on it.
I fuck with that.
So you said you saw that Nolanbeorllin was into it? Or
Yeah.
word?
Have you worked with Nolanbeorllin?
So he stole, it's not exactly, we didn't end on good terms. I think he stole a very, very, very old beat and he made a song. It was on his YouTube, but he never credited me, but I forgot. I think it was, no, all his songs had something to do with Hondas and Civics. I forgot now. But he made some sort of a song and I reached out, said, why did you steal it? At least could you credit if not pay? But I wasn't too nice about it.
True.
But he stood out to me because he was a figure on the Health Pack channel back in the days, which I was really a fan of before I got onto it. And he was also somewhat like of a small icon within one of the niche of Plugg back then. So because of that, he was on my radar.
Yeah.
Word. That's a SleepWalker exclusive.
Yeah, it sucks that the terms didn't end on the best. But
have you guys worked with him or had any sort of content with him?
Nah.
But we're fans.
I would say, yeah, I was a fan of his.
Okay.
But oh yeah, another collaborations that I've noticed that you've had, I feel like honestly fairly early in your career too, is with the Surreal Gang and all of them. How did you start like working with them, like Rob Surreal and Zan Gang and like Orstring and shit?
Oh, I see. I was about to ask you, are you sure about that? But I realized I've had one or two songs with Zan Gang. I've never really worked with them fully consensually when we're talking about their consent. They weren't the greatest fans of me at the time, but I felt like I had a lot of respect for them and I loved their music and I wasn't gonna give up at all. So I forced things to happen one way or another, I guess. So that was basically forced. And to this day, I haven't spoken. I haven't had a nice conversation with any of them.
Cool.
So.
Respect.
Word, respect. Yeah, because I was gonna mention, I feel like a lot of, or it's not a lot, but some of the tags you use is like used in some like the Surreal Gang shit, and I was wondering if that was like be on purpose or something. But I think it's just like a plug.
Yes, it was more like a plug thing, and I also kind of indirectly wanted to basically combine all of the different like eras and ages of Plugg at the time to kind of make mine like a combo of everything. So I guess it worked in that way.
So you are the embodiment of Plugg music.
Yep.
That's tough. That's very
extremely tough. Another thing about tags, how many tags do you say you like use like consistently, like that are in your repertoire, you say?
In the beginning, I only had one. Besides like the chain sounds and the what is it, like the stirring pots and all those stuff, I only had one tag, which was Olinky. But it got to a point where I felt like not using a tag was my tag.
Stamp.
Yeah, so I don't really use tags much, if at all, anymore. And I think the sound also, yes, that's what I had this thing of, I want my sound to be the tag. So when people hear it, they don't have to hear a tag to know for sure it's that guy.
Yeah. All right, word. I fuck with it.
Yeah.
A couple more just like placements that are pretty big. How did you start working with Chris Travis?
Oh yes, sir. Shout out. I got introduced to him by Black Kray with that song there 2 times.
2 times, yeah.
Yeah, but we've got more, I think, on that. There was this album he dropped like a weird green blue cover recently, and the song there, It's On You, was one of them.
Yeah. I fuck with that song.
Thank you very much.
And then the other placement that I thought was cool was with the Sahbabii, because y'all have a couple.
Yes.
How'd that come together?
Wow, interesting. This is where this is where I learned that you take every single sale seriously, no matter how much of a bot account it looks. Because his sister hit me up to buy those beats, and I played games with them for a good 6 weeks or so, in terms of signing the contracts, replying to the messages at all, and everything. And then when it came out and I really went back, I saw the name Casting Bait Music Group, and then I remembered that. I searched it and I found her email, and it was those exact same messages and conversations where I almost let it slide basically without knowing.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah. But I haven't spoken to him at all. He does not reply to a DM. He does not. It's like he doesn't exist.
It's just his label.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, shout out Sahbabii. And another thing, I feel like Sahbabii and Black Kray have like the same song like on your beat type shit. How many
Yes.
how does that like happen often where multiple people will have like different versions of the same beat?
They don't like it, so that's the first reason why it's difficult for it to happen that way. Or they all have this, or I shouldn't say they, but artists all have this me type of I'm the star, I'm the one, I'm the best. I don't want to call it an ego, but it kind of is an ego. So one of the things they hate is to have a beat that is been used by or even heard by people before their song comes out. So it's very rare actually, even on a lower level. And what I suspect is that because of the same beat used for both of their songs, I think Black Kray didn't like that too much.
True.
Even though he didn't pay, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so did you gave out the same beat to both of them?
I think Black Kray, he used it himself. He was fishing back in the days, and
Got it.
then both of them found it. I don't send stuff out much because I feel like when you send stuff, or with me when I send stuff, no matter what it is, it just doesn't get used. But when I put it on YouTube, somebody's gonna find it, and so both of them found it on YouTube. Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
your YouTube's being watched, I guess, by people.
Interesting. I would have never thought so, but I think you're right. Yeah.
So you don't really make custom beats anymore unless like someone like reaches out to you and it's like.
Yes, I think the last time I did so, and it's somewhat the reason why I don't is because the correspondence factor is a bit difficult. So people will say, I want something like this, but then on top of that, they don't even know what the instruments are called. So they'll say, I want this sound to go dun, and I want that sound to go boom. Like, how? That doesn't make sense. So there was a very pretty young lady who hit me up. She was the last one for a custom beat, and I tried talking her out of it, and she refused. She wanted it, and she ended up paying about $265 for what I feel she wasn't satisfied with. Because I needed a deposit first because a lot of people waste time. But the song came out, and to me it was okay. It was edited and polished to be a good product at the end. So yeah, but other than that, it needs to be a trustworthy deposit, and there must be a sign, a level of I want this, I'm going to get it, I'm going to buy it and use it, and it's going to become a product. Then
I think those are good like guidelines to have.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it makes sense that like you'd want to just put out the beats that you want to put out, and then whoever finds them. Because
yes,
sometimes making something custom for someone like makes it harder to like make a complete product.
I agree, and also what you said about just putting out what you want and letting things happen. To me, there's like a genuineness to it that it's almost like what you are feeling in the moment when you put it out. Somebody is gonna feel that exact same emotion and use that and make something with the exact same feel. What happened? Was it me or was it you?
I think it was you.
What did I do?
I don't know.
I feel like it's fine though. You're back.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Yeah, I actually thought you guys were playing like a prank where you freeze and then the person on the call is like, what's going on?
Do that to all the guests. It's like,
no, don't expect any pranks.
Okay, I won't.
Sorry.
But what is Jugg Gang? Is that like a collective?
That is something that is non-existent now. Sorry, I just want to fix this thing on my head. That is something that is non-existent now. And it wasn't even made by me, to be honest. It was made by somebody who from the city next to mine who like was really inspired by my stuff, and he made it, and I saw the vision, so I was like, okay, I'm going with this. But if it doesn't become anything, I'm still gonna be here. And then I guess all of them just fell by the wayside.
True. Do you like keep in contact with any of them still?
Sadly not. I think one of them I saw, he was one of the guy who created it, you could say. He was one of the most talented musicians I ever met, and he could make any single sound in the world with FL Studio, and it would sound like the best of that genre made it. But everything else about him was wired backwards. And I gave him such a strong talking to one day about him getting on so he can be successful. I don't think it hit the right way, and we've never spoken since.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
Long live Jugg Gang.
Long live Jugg Gang for sure.
Long love, yes.
So have you only ever used FL?
Yes. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a time in society where it was looked down upon to use it for anything serious. And I always had this thing of I can do with less or make something out of nothing. And so I stuck with it partially because of that, but also just because I had already learned the basics on there and I wasn't prepared to move to the next thing and start afresh. So yeah.
Yeah. I feel like once you understand how to use it and do what you want to do, then like you don't really need to know a bunch of different like softwares and shit.
Exactly.
Do you have like a specific version of FL that like you fuck with, or are you open to?
My favorite version I would have to say is whichever is the newest one. I have to update, which is it's a bit of a rocky situation. But I used to prefer FL Studio 11 the most, because I learned on it. But when I saw that there is a reason to update, and the updates do make a difference. Yeah, I started to update.
Word.
You kind of gotta like relearn it then every so often, right?
No, the interface and everything stays almost exactly the same. It might improve like with the aesthetics like over time, so it doesn't look outdated, and then they add minor changes, but over time those minor changes are things you needed in the past, and so now it's like it just gets better basically.
Word.
And easier actually.
Word.
Interesting.
Do you sample at all, or do you like build all your melodies?
I used to be pro melody, straight from the finger bone, but I started to sample once I felt like I had proven myself in the melody factor, because there was a time when sampling was so overdone yet so overhyped as well, and I felt like it was like an excuse for people who couldn't make melodies, who didn't have a musical ear but still wanted to shortcut. And so I started to do it at a later stage when it almost started to become like something that was seen as like an actual talent.
Where do you pull your samples from? Do you like listen to records or pull them off the internet?
Yeah, so wherever I pull my sample from, I'll just find that on YouTube or anything where it can be found, and then drag that audio file straight into FL Studio, into the chopping and stuff.
That's like the most convenient way to do it. Some people are pretentious about the records, but I think you could find it on a record and then somebody already has uploaded the audio file online, so why not use it?
So you mean there are people in the world who take the actual vinyl and sample from that?
Rip it from the vinyl directly and put it in FL.
That's just too much work.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot.
But I mean, I'm not trying to knock anybody's creative process. I just feel like there's nothing wrong.
I actually would say that they are extremely talented.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really hard to do that. Yeah.
What's your favorite like VST / plugin to use for?
You know the answer to this one, my brother. Purity. I've only ever used Purity since I started, and after achieving the sound that I was using it for, I realized then that it has everything in it, instrument-wise. So you never have to look outside.
Cool. Shout out Purity.
Yeah. We gotta get that sponsorship for you.
Right.
Thank you. I'm gonna use this. Now.
Nah, for real. Do you sit on your beats? Like, do you have a good amount unreleased, or as soon as you make it, you like put it out?
As soon as I make it, I think I made so many within the past laptops that got lost. There would be a plethora of unreleased, but right now, no. Yeah, they all put out and everything. There's nothing in the vault.
Got you.
How many beats do you make like per day or per week, do you think?
Between 2016 to 2020, I'd say I was going anywhere from 10 a day to 1 a day.
10 a day is
10 a day is
is
pretty
intense.
hectic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know the classic saying, when the it doesn't mean, what is it? Quantity is not equal to quality and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, when they were more, they were not as good. But there's bat flying around. Sorry, I just want to get away from the bat. Yeah, so sometimes they'd be like 10 in a day and 3 of them would be really good, and then other days there'd be 1 and it's just not that good. I don't know if you can see me now, that chick.
I just
Sort
see
of, sometimes.
I see a lady.
There we go.
Yeah, in the big city.
Okay, well, it's nighttime now, so I guess that's why he's doing this. So okay, yeah.
Well, I'm about to share my screen again.
Okay, no problem.
So you used to make like how-to tutorials on YouTube, like how to make plug beats and shit. Would you ever bring them back and do them again?
Would you guys and everybody else tune in? Then I would, yes.
So, I mean, I'd watch.
Yeah, I'd watch them. By the way, these were the thumbnails that I was referring to earlier. These thumbnails they're crazy.
Oh, if I could ask you, if you could guess or your best guess or estimate, how do you think I made those?
Did you make them on Instagram?
Kind of. How did you get that?
I don't know. Instagram has a really powerful photo editor, like low key. If you go to stories and then you can like draw and add in whatever you want.
Yes, sir. You got it on the bullseye. So I would basically like rip the pictures from like Google, so like the purity, and then I would like paste it using these Android apps. The picture of him as well, same thing, and then the finalization would be taking it into Instagram for the font, and then
Got you.
Yeah, no, that's you could pretty much make any like digital art on your phone if you have enough apps to like pass it through.
Yes, it's about knowing what to use and how to use them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
Facts. Another couple questions about just collabs you did. We kind of already mentioned them already, but how did you start working with Mexikodro?
Oh, fun! I think that is very similar to the Surreal Gang situation. It was never really fully consensual on his part, and in fact, the one there from Secret and the other songs, it was just a remake that I did of a song on another channel on YouTube that he produced. I just remade the beat and then made slight variations and then put it out as a collab to get more clicks.
Facts.
I fuck with that.
Yeah, you need to.
You gotta let him know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay, but I see there's a lot more. I didn't know there were so many that use our collab. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, there's like a lot of, and there are a couple of different beats, but then there are a lot of people that use the shit.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay.
And then another producer you have a lot of shit out with is Cashcache. How did y'all start working together?
I must have reached out to him so long ago, like I think late 2017, and he wasn't exactly too keen, but somehow he started watching my stories a lot, and then he reached out more because I felt like from a pride perspective, I didn't want to reach out anymore, but he reached out, and I think I owe a lot to him. My catalog probably wouldn't have been like nearly as heavy as it is if it wasn't for him looking out for me and sending a lot of our collabs out and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Because I like leads into my next question, because you and Cashcache do a lot of beats for or have done a lot of beats for Serane, and he's kind of like he's kind of killing shit in the plug lane area, and he's French, I believe, right? So like,
yes.
How did that happen? Was the connect through Cashcache, or did you connect with them yourself?
No, it definitely was through Cash. But he came through his timing was very good from an underground perspective. He came through when this like this era of what's going on was just starting, and he met Cashcache. I think everybody really liked his fashion as well, and the combination of his aesthetic with the sound. I think it was just perfect, and so yeah.
Shout
out Serane.
Shout out Serane.
Shout out the Frenchies.
Yep.
How many?
They'll scam you.
Stint. How many different like languages do you think people have rapped over your beats? Because you're pretty international. Beats goes.
Wow, you guys are asking. I like these questions. I don't know if you guys are gonna like trim this or editing it in a certain way, but there's certain questions that you guys are asking that are good. So it's probably Latin, which is like different, Brazil, Portugal, and then there's Russian, there's French. I've heard actual African languages as well, but not too many of them.
Sure.
English, of course. I'm gonna separate English from UK and English from USA as so that those two separates.
Yeah.
So I think it's those, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a good amount of more that I'm just not thinking. Dutch, of course, there's Dutch. Yeah.
That's fire. You gotta send over some Dutch music.
Yeah, man.
You might be able to find it now, I think. I'll send it afterwards.
Right.
No, I mean, yeah, if you know what we could search. But I was gonna ask, how many languages do you speak?
A total of 1.5.
Hey, nice.
So I know English. English is like from home. It's like my mother tongue, and then there's another language, Afrikaans, which is like my ancestors' mother tongue. But I don't really speak it, but I know it.
Oh, that's cool. It's good you know it. Yeah, another like I think Rocket. I think he's Portuguese or from Portugal. Rocket Skywalker.
I think it's Russian.
Oh, he's Russian.
Yeah.
I fuck with this song. I just fucked with it. And how did that collab come about?
It's very similar to the Sahbabii situation, but I wasn't taking them too seriously because they seemed like your typical scam email. Like it looked like it was a phishing email or something like that. But because they were mentioning money, I thought don't take chances and let any money slip. So I kind of went in cautiously and gave them my payment details. And when the money came through, I realized, okay, they're serious. And I didn't know it was going to be of this magnitude, you could say, until it came out.
Word. Snap. So when we were like going through just doing research for the interviews, we came across some like crazy videos on your account of like, I guess they're like tight beat videos, but they start off as like cinematic movies. So we're just gonna watch one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The fucking register! Open the fucking register!
What? Wow. Wow.
Oh, Linky bitch.
That what comes after. Okay. Oh. That's not bad, bro.
No, not at all. And this is another one that I thought was kind of crazy.
That was just a little bit too racist for me, but that's besides the point. Let's get back to the point. The point is that this is not going to work, and you both know it.
Look, I understand that you have something against this, okay? But would you just leave us alone in peace? I mean, at the end of the day...
Yo, this guy's teeth.
Nothing is going to get in the way of this.
Just listen, guys.
Everything is going to work out. And neither you nor anyone else is going to convince us otherwise.
You guys just don't see it, do you? You guys think because there's some kind of love thing going on here that this thing is going to work out?
Basically.
You know what? You guys make me laugh.
Oh, Linky bitch.
Wow.
So how did these videos come about? When did you?
I was so like I say, yeah, I was in film school, and so you kind of just try your hand at everything. So I was just helping out for these guys when they needed a favor by playing an extra supporting role or something like that.
Word. And then do you have anything to do with like the cinematography in these or any of the filming?
No,
editing?
not these specifically, but I did. So I majored in editing, so that was my thing.
Cool.
Cinematography specifically, I never ever did.
Got you. Word.
Yeah, I when we saw these, at least I was like very interested in the short film into type beat format for video.
Yeah, I think this is pretty genius, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's pretty genius as well.
Thanks.
Would you ever like make a short like skit for the purpose of showcasing a beat, or is that like too much work?
I don't think I would actually do it with that intentional or that specific purpose, but I did think about it. Since the audience is kind of there, at least at the minimum, there is an audience. I would be able to do it for another purpose. I think for something more like with a message or something like that.
Yeah,
Word,
sure.
definitely, especially if like it's something that you want to do.
And you have a bit of background in making films type videos anyway, so yeah, go for it.
Okay, maybe we should work on something. You never know.
Hey, fuck yeah, we're always down.
Yeah.
And then a couple more questions about just like placements you've had that are notable. How did the hdami collabs you or placements come about? I feel like some of the beats you made are some of his like biggest songs.
Yes. I try not to also say that too much, but I do believe it. But it was someone else who stole them and then he sent it out saying it was theirs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so he previewed the snippet, and a lot of people started tagging me in the comment sections. But when I looked past the tags and I looked at his comments, I saw something. It was like a different level of like a cult build-up type of a very young youth audience, you could say. But the way he had this like type of a thing over them, like a star iconic presence, I saw something there, and I was like, I want to work with this guy.
So then, did you end up sending him any more beats, or just like working to get the record?
I think both of them. Yeah, he found both of them on YouTube. I didn't send him any after that.
Facts.
Dope.
Yeah, man. YouTube, man.
It's the future. It's everything. It's for the youth now. The youth are crazy.
And then this song is going pretty viral on TikTok right now.
And they call Otterix on me. I said Otterix on me. Otterix on me, no, we don't run no Patagonia. Otterix on me, I could go hiking in Snowdonia.
But
wow.
how did that come about? Was this also YouTube?
It must have been, because honestly, I only found out about it like 2 days before Christmas, I'd say. But it was out for a very long time already. Yeah. And I found out through people saying you should get paid. Why aren't you getting paid? Why aren't you XYZ? And then when I looked it up, I saw, but I think even he made it as like a meme. Honestly, I think it was a meme for him as well. And somehow it just took off. No disrespect to his craft, but I don't think.
Have you been able to get in contact with him?
Oh yeah, no, we ironed out all our business. We had a little fallout on Christmas actually, leading into the day after. But he eventually did put me on the royalty splits things. So now everything is fine and we're on good terms now again.
Hey,
nice.
Attaboy. Nice. Yeah, get paid.
Get the TikTok money.
That TikTok
money. Yes,
sir. And then, oh yeah, how do you feel about, like, we were talking about this earlier, like the algorithm? What are your feelings on just social media algorithms in general? Because I saw your Twitter was suspended, and I feel like you will post on your stories every now and then, just kind of venting about how the algorithm's kind of fucking over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any idea like why?
I don't want to say no. I don't. I have a handful of ideas as to possibly why. But with the Twitter thing, I actually never was active on Twitter at all. So when you say it was suspended, that might have been an imposter
Wow.
or something, or I might just be forgetting at this point. I don't know. It could be anything, but
I said good thing it got suspended if it was an imposter.
yeah, I agree. But that would have helped me get verified if I could have used that and say, hey, look, they pretending to be me, but yeah.
Go.
So I mean it's fair if you want to keep your opinions on the algorithm secret.
We also suffer from being shadow banned or algorithm not fucking with us too. We're trying to figure out what's going on.
We're working on it.
We're working on it.
We got some theories.
Yeah, we're just gonna start asking.
Got some theories. Okay, so we should exchange theories as well afterwards.
Maybe not on a platform.
Yeah, we can do it off camera.
You never know. Listening, right. They can just update the algorithm because we know.
Exactly.
Right, moving on.
Yeah. Who you listening to right now?
Oh, this is gonna be one of those unorthodox answers. So I kind of been fasting off of like really listening to a lot of stuff for a good few months now. But it's more so because my phone doesn't have a headphone jack, and I'm just not gonna pay those prices for those pods. So it's been like an involuntary fast. But usually I really like the SoundCloud, the young Brando guys, like his roster on SoundCloud, like Slim GGP and Kobe Locks and those type of people. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I'm really that hip to them. What type of like shit is it like?
It's like Mookie Part 2 and
Gotcha.
like I don't know if you know 1032 Up.
I'm not sure.
I've heard the name. I've seen the name before.
Yeah, so it's like that kind of a niche, kind of like how Summers used to sound before he went more not undergroundish.
Got you.
What other producers are you fucking with?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna give someone what do you call it? A shout out, as they would call it. There's a South African guy called Explore the Sounds. I think you spell it explore without an E. So it's just XPL and then like one word on Instagram, or it's like prod.explore. And he makes the same stuff, but he's really good at like the detail and the musicality he's got. So yeah, he's one.
A final like placement that I just wanted to bring up was to show you have Diego Money, because I feel like he's considered, him and Mexikodro, to be like the creators / founders of Plugg type shit. So how did that collab come about?
So there's a guy in the middle there in the producer credits, Mars. He managed to he bought the collab from me, and then him and the other guy did it, and then he managed to pay this guy to get on it as well. But it was more like a feature for the other guy. The guy that says his featured there was actually the main guy. But I didn't think that was gonna really do very well, so I had to do a little chop and change and move things around and patch together to make it how it is now. So that's basically how that came about. Yeah.
Got you. Well, shout out Diego Money, man.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. You have a placement with them.
And shout out Mars, I guess.
And Mars too. Yeah. Setting it up.
Yeah, he really had that how do you call it, the business mind of taking things and putting it together.
Yeah.
Facts. And then another question I had just about your discography, like how many songs do you think you've uploaded to YouTube? Because I just like search produced by Lincoln, and if you can just scroll for literally hours, like maybe not hours, but a very, very long time, just like looking at all beats either that you posted or that were produced by you, or like niggas trying to make beats like you. There's just so many videos. So how many videos do you think, or just beats in general, do you think like exist out there produced by you?
Published, how many beats published? Is it going on 1,000 now? It's like 993. That's on the channel. But in terms of how many pieces of like craft have been made, with my compositions, I don't think you reach the end.
Yeah, nah.
It seems like it.
Wow, I even saw some music video there, but yeah.
Right, it just never ends, man.
Yeah, that's why you might see I use the infinity sign a lot, just randomly. It's kind of what it symbolizes.
Yeah,
facts. That's tough. Well, yeah. I think those are pretty much all the questions we had for today. Thank you again for coming on. Do you have any more questions?
no, man. I think that's an interesting place to end it. Everything is infinite.
Yeah,
we're just
exactly
on some journey that has no beginning or end.
Mm-hmm.
But it also like it's all about the journey. It's not about the beginning and end. Anyway, you got any shout outs?
Okay, I'll start by saying shout out to you guys, because I didn't think you guys on a research level would go so like as far as you did. So I was blown away by that. And then I guess just everybody who is keeping what we have built alive to this day and who hasn't buckled for a quick 10 minutes of something else, you know. It takes a lot to stay with something when it's not that nice and popular anymore. So everyone in the scene, yep, the new guys, I really can't think of any specific names now. So maybe what I'll do is, because you can't see my face much, I'll send you guys like a voice note or something, and then you can like edit it in as if it was saying all the names.
And then yeah, shout out Lincoln.
Yeah, shout out Lincoln. Thank you for coming on this.
Thank you very much, bro.
What should we expect from you in the future?
You can expect the exact same thing that has been coming, but actually I'm really looking at branching out into different fields that I shan't really say too much about right now, but some more serious, less lighthearted, if you could say, eras or areas of life is where I see myself possibly going in the near future. But I would not like to. That's only if things like in the world don't go in a good direction. Gotcha. Then I might have to step out. But otherwise, still the same. We're coming the same.
All right.
Word. We'll be looking out.
Per usual.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. This is SleepWalker Radio with Lincoln.
Signing off.
Shout out. Thanks, guys.